Hey everyone, happy holidays and welcome back to Love, Dating and Marriage Relationships with me, where we share, ask and answer relationship questions to help you and I build a godly, loving, healthy and long-lasting relationship. Now, very quickly, I thought I'd come and film a video to share what 2020 has taught me. What a year it has been, right? Since the first quarter of the year to the pandemic and quarantine, and still the pandemic, and now we're wrapping up the year. Now, I'm going to be sharing just a few lessons that 2020 has taught me, and you may or may not resonate with some of them, and that's fine. I personally enjoy listening to other people share their life lessons, and whether or not I necessarily resonate with them, I'm able to pick one or two things from their lessons. So hopefully the lessons that I share bless you and you're also able to learn one or two things from it. So keep on watching. Okay, so the first lesson is to be grateful. Now, 2020 has taught me not to take anything for granted because there's so many things around me to be grateful for. Now, this is something I imagine you tell yourself a lot of the times, or possibly you also tell others to always be grateful, to always have a mindset of gratitude. But sometimes when you're faced with certain situations and all you can really do is just to be grateful, I can't stress enough how much of gratitude I've had to learn this year. And it's not like I'm not normally grateful. I'm grateful every day, but there are just some days where you are just overwhelmingly grateful, and that happened to me a lot of times this year. And I've also learned that sometimes to be grateful you have to be present in that particular situation or circumstance or whatever it is that you're doing, because if you're not present, how do you want to be grateful? Say for instance, being present at your work, your relationship, your marriage, your relationship with your friends, with your family, whatever it is that you're doing. So for example, going into work, as opposed to having that negative mindset, as opposed to grumbling and saying, why am I here, what am I even doing in this place? Interestingly, that was kind of my mindset towards the end of last year, and this kind of mindset can only prevent you from giving your best and staying grateful in that workplace, in your relationship with your friends, with your family, in your marriage, or in whatever situation that you find yourself in. So as opposed to having that negative mindset, just have a positive mindset, be present and be grateful, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. The second thing that 2020 has taught me is to trust God. This is like an add-on to the first one, which is to be grateful. So 2020 has taught me to continue to trust God even when things are clear and when things are not clear. So if I can be grateful to God for the small things and the big things in my life, then I equally can be able to trust Him for the small things and the big things. I don't know how best to tell you this, but God sees you and knows you inside and out. He knows what is best for you and when it is best for you. He will not leave you nor forsake you, because His timing is always perfect. I feel like that is actually a word for someone right now. God's timing in your life, in your situation, is always perfect. So trust God to hold your hand through the triumphs and the struggles. It is so much easier with God on your side, I promise. So the third thing that 2020 has taught me is to start today. Start today, because tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Now, I know we say this all the time, we tell ourselves this all the time, but 2020 has taught me to take each day as it comes. Even though we plan for the future, it's always important to be present in today. Now, this year I've been able to dabble into different ventures, improve existing skills, which I'm not sure ordinarily would have happened this year, but looking back now, I'm so grateful that I started these things, because I'm now able to look forward and see what the future holds. Trust me, there's always one excuse or the other that we say to ourselves. So for instance, I need more money for me to be able to start this, or I need more followers before I can jump on this, or I need this equipment before I can start at all, or I need this to click before that can happen. different kinds of excuses. But when you realize the people that have sadly lost their lives to this pandemic, they're not just data, they're not just numbers, they're people's families, children, parents, grandparents, and relatives who now do not have the opportunity that you have. So why not take advantage of today? Why not be present in today and start today? So the fourth and final thing I've learned is that change is okay. Now 2020 has taught me that to be able to move from point A to point B, sometimes you have to make certain changes, and that's very much okay. And in the process of making those changes, do not put unnecessary pressure on yourself. Now, I say unnecessary because sometimes a little pressure can be needed to be able to take that step or move from, again, point A to point B, but do not put unnecessary pressure on yourself, and also do not let others, so family and friends, put unnecessary, undue pressure on you. No, don't. And I don't mean the motivational, inspirational kind of push. I mean undue pressure, unnecessary pressure for you to show up in a way that they want you to show up in a way that is, pleasing to them, but uncomfortable for you. So do not let these people put on that unnecessary pressure or undue pressure on you. I've made a few changes in my life this year, which I'm so grateful for, but it doesn't mean that I'm doing everything right. Far from it. Like everyone else, I'm still a work in progress. So if you have people around you that just keep adding pressure and pressure and pressure to your life, the truth is that sometimes you may not even know that you are pressuring yourself unnecessarily, and people that also pressure others may not even know that they're coming across that way. So what you can do is to have a quick conversation with this person to say, hey, this is what I've noticed, this is what I've observed, and this is the step or action that I'm going to take. Now, you don't necessarily have to do that, but whatever it is that works best for you to be able to remove yourself from that pressure or that negative energy, just so you can function better, then do it, because life is too short to be functioning under the shadow of someone's pressure. So these are some of the things that 2020 has taught me, and I can only hope and pray with you that 2021 will be a much better and fulfilling year for every one of us. And also a very big thank you to everyone who has been connecting with my content on my YouTube channel, that has been liking, leaving your comments, sharing and subscribing. I really do appreciate every one of you. And of course, I hope to continue to share more inspiring and uplifting content with you. And before I go, I announced a giveaway in my previous video, and we have 2 winners. You will receive a copy of your book in the post shortly. Right, so thank you so much for watching again, and as always, I encourage you to live an intentional life, and I also wish every one of you a beautiful and happy new year in advance. Until next time, stay blessed.